everybody. A little while back, I was fortunate enough to have a vacation in southern Italy, and it was an absolute blast, and the food was impeccable. But I have been back for a while now, and I am missing that food in my life. So today I am bringing you a simple and delicious recipe that is going to satisfy my fervor for the flavor of Sicily. I'm making this spicy Calabrian sausage that everyone's going to love. So let's get started. Making fresh sausage is as easy as it gets. In fact, if you've ever made a meatloaf, you've already done it. It's just a matter of mixing up meat and spices and then deciding whether you want to put it in a casing or not. Either way, it's very simple to do, and it's going to save you a ton of money. And for today's sausage, I only need this one cut of meat. This is a pork shoulder. It's got enough fat and lean in there to make a nice sausage. I do tend to add in a little bit more fat of mine, but today I'm leaving it as easy as I can and going with the straight pork shoulder. And this only ran me $2 per pound, and sometimes you can even get it cheaper than that. And in contrast to the $6 a pound that the tailor-made sausages are going for, it is a massive savings. Plus, you get to craft this sausage to your own taste, and that is the beauty of making your own. So the first thing I gotta do is get this off the bone and chunk it up and get it ready to toss into gnarls. There we go, all ready to grind. You see, there's a lot of fat in here, but again, if you want it to have that extra mouth meltiness, add in, another 5% or so of pork fat, and you're gonna get a really succulent sausage. And if you don't have a grinder, you can make this with pre-ground meat. That's generally gonna have a finer grind on it than I like. Or if you've got a really good butcher, you could get them to grind yours up as you like it. Now, this is one that I like to make in bulk, so I've always got some in the freezer. So I've got a couple more of these roasts to get through, and then we will wake up gnarls and grind our meat. However coarse or fine you want your sausage is, of course, completely up to you. When I was on my trip, I had one where the grind was literally as big as my fingertip, and it was a great sausage. So use whatever grind you like, or make a blend, and that works out pretty well too. I'm going to use the sort of medium coarse. I'm using a 6mm plate on this one, and I'll just run one pass through this. Beautiful grind on that. So now I'll get one final weight on my mince, and then I'll work up the spice bill. Now let's take a look at the spices for this Sicilian sausage. And this is very much a home style recipe. And for that reason, no two recipes are gonna be exactly the same. For my recipe today, of course, I'm gonna start with salt. And I'm going with 2% salt content on this one, and that might be a little much for some people and not enough for others. It's your sausage. You decide how salty you like it. And that is any plain non-iodized salt. I'm using this non-iodized sea salt, but I often use kosher salt as well. Now we have a plethora of peppers today, starting with some black pepper. And this grind is kind of all over the place because I used my coffee grinder, so I've got some coarse and some very fine. This is some sweet paprika, and this is some fennel seed that I toasted, which is optional, and then I put a pretty rough grind on that. There's still some whole seeds even left in there. And that fennel is what is gonna give you that mamma mia, that real traditional flavor that you're gonna find in a lot of Italian sausage. And for my final pepper and seasoning, I've got some Calabrian chili paste. I ordered this, and I still need to check this to see how spicy it is. Check out that bite. Ooh, that is good. That is nice. It's got a slight tartness to it. Of course, tons of pepper flavor. And it's kind of a medium on the spice level. Now, if you don't have the Calabrian chili paste or you don't want to order it, that's fine. You could use regular red bell pepper, and you could either roast those or saute them with a little olive oil and then puree that and use that as a base. And if you don't want any heat at all, just go ahead and use that base. And if you do want some heat, then you could add in whatever type of red pepper you like to bring that heat level up. Some Fresno peppers, they would taste great in there. And of course, I would like some Reapers in there. But this is a family sausage, so I'm gonna stick with the kind of medium heat I have here. And that is all I'm gonna use today. There are many, many other ingredients you could add in here. Of course, garlic is always gonna make a sausage better, in my opinion. But I'm going with base level, and I'm sure this is gonna make a wonderful sausage. So all that's left to do is to mix these spices in with my meat, and then we've got a sausage. I do like to mix my dry ingredients together just to give it a little kickstart on the mixing. And hopefully I can fit all this in here. Got my biggest bowl because my mixing tubs are all full up right now. I don't know. I might have to find something else. Let me see what I can do. That ought to do. Oh, it feels so nice. When you're mixing up a fresh sausage like this one, you want to make sure you mix it thoroughly, but you don't want to over mix it. You're not looking for that really tight bind that you want in a smoked sausage. If you've seen my videos before, I always mix the smoked sausage until it's really shaggy and sticky. And that's going to make for a really dense and tight sausage. This one, you want a little bit looser mouthfeel, a little more tender sausage. So you just want to get everything mixed in really well. And this is very, very cold, but since I won't have to mix it too long, I can do this one by hand pretty easily. Look at that great red color already. Oh. And it smells awesome. Once everything is all mixed together nice and evenly, your sausage is done. I do like to let these flavors sit and mingle in there for at least a few hours before I eat it. But now is the time when you want to take a little piece of this, go and fry it up and test that for seasoning, and that way you can adjust this any way you like to suit your taste. Once you've got it exactly how you want it, you can go ahead and bag that up and put it in the freezer. It's going to be good for a very long time in there, basically until it starts to freezer burn, or you can stuff it in a casing. Today, I'm going to use my stuffer to put it in these plastic sausage bags that I'll then clamp closed. I'll also do some in some natural hog casings. So now it's time to lock and load and crank out this spicy salami. So there you have it, a very simple mixture of meat and spices, and you're gonna have your own delicious Calabrian sausage at a fraction of the cost of tailor-made sausages. Well, now, the only question is, what are you gonna do with your spicy sausage? Oh man, that looks good. Check out that bite. Oh my goodness! That is a great pizza. A Pacific Northwest style, thick crusted monster of a thing. And of course, what makes this pizza so great, along with the sauce that came from my homegrown tomatoes, is the homemade sausage. The sausage has so much flavor. Lots and lots of pepper flavor, and the chili paste does hit different than dried chili. And then a big burst of fennel. It is outstanding. Every bit as good as the sausage I had in Italy. It's wonderful stuff, and now I have a freezer full of it. So if you need a freezer full of some of the best fresh Italian sausage you'll ever sink a tooth in, give this one a try, and I know you're gonna love it. Thanks for watching. Mamma mia!